News like California approves home loans for everyone except Americans. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's Dave. That's Dave. That's Deke. Somehow, guys, I'm going to just have you switch places. There we go. Is that better? There we go. All right. Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Weird. I feel weird now.
Yeah.
So we had no show yesterday. I apologize for that. I had to go to a trade show and look at a time machine. It was amazing.
You did actually looked at a time machine yesterday. Did you get to see the flux capacitor in the back? Was it?
I could see it.
Did we?
It was the end of Back to the Future / Back to the Future 2 model.
So
it had fusion in the back.
Fusion in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sweet. And I could have sat in it and taken a photo. I could have done that, but I did not do that.
What?
Because I am a giant man, and that is a tiny car.
Oh, well, I guess that's true.
Now, were they charging you for pictures?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Okay. But, the
several of those cars, they will let you sit in, but they'll charge you for the picture. Oh, yeah, because I paid to sit in the Impala from Supernatural. I paid to sit in the Batmobile. I did not pay to sit, or I did not pay to get a picture in the DeLorean, but I did sit in the DeLorean.
I thought about it. I was like, man, I really wanted to. And then I was like, no, because I've seen other people get in and out of that car, and I know how big I am, and I know how dumb I will look. And I've seen myself on a horse. I rode a horse before, and I was like, this poor horse. So no, anyway. But it's wonderful to see something from your youth and your childhood, and something for which I have great fond memories. Back to the Future. I've seen it like 50 times probably, and to see it in real life, the actual tricked out Back to the Future version, that was cool. I've seen regular DeLoreans drive around before, and that's
yeah.
And that is a terrible car. It is a terrible.
They've redone it.
They've redone it.
There is a new
2024.
Have you not seen it?
Shut up! No way.
Yeah. Picture of it. Yeah, you got to find a picture of it. There's a new one that came out. Yeah, it was a very terribly made car, but there's a story behind it. I can't remember the story, Dave. You might on why they chose it, but it was specifically for the Doors.
Wasn't it?
It was specifically for the Doors.
Yeah.
Why they chose that for the Back to the Future movie. Yeah, but they had another car from what I remember, and then they chose the other car. Something happened, and they chose this one because of the door.
I thought it was because of the stainless steel. It just looked more futuristic.
That might be something.
No other car.
That sounds familiar.
Look at this.
I would.
Is this what you guys are talking about?
Yeah.
You would drive this?
Beautiful.
This
I
looks
would.
Absolutely. It looks like a Porsche with a DeLorean name on it.
I don't care. You know that if you got in one of those, you would have to get up to 88 miles an hour just to see.
I mean,
I'm sure it's
electric.
Yeah.
When you get up to 88 miles an hour, wouldn't it be awesome if freaking like all these LED lights and shit started going on all over the car?
It doesn't have. I mean, it looks kind of. It looks kind of generically modern.
Dude,
I want it to.
What do you want? Do you want?
I want it to look more like Cybertruck
across the front of it. What do you want?
No, I want it to look like Cybertruck. I want it to look a lot more like the original.
Ugliest things. The door's still open on the sides, though.
Have you seen one in person? Because I'll tell you what, you can be like, that truck looks dumb, and then you're like close to it, and you're like, that is a big truck.
I would totally.
That has one.
We had when I was in Omaha a couple of weeks ago, they were all over the place. And I actually took a picture. One was parked right next to my my vehicle that I had, the rental that I had. So I took a picture of the Cybertruck, and I said, "Hey kid, here's a picture of my rental." And my son freaked out. He's like, "You didn't get a Cybertruck, did you, Dad?" I'm like, well. No, my rental's in the reflection of my glasses, bud.
Here's what I saw yesterday.
So, it's even got the hoverboard.
Hoverboard.
I mean, I would be okay with the new DeLorean maybe not having two different colors of gray at the front of the at the front of the car like this, but like Okay, all right. I'm gonna admit it. This don't look great right here. The front end don't look great, but I like how it's
great on the movie. Look at the movie. That is probably movie specific to the T. I would bet money that's exactly like it was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was very cool.
That's awesome.
I'm just saying, new version of DeLorean. It should have at least some of these kinds of things, like
it should have the
triangle
gold
window.
wings.
Yeah, the gold wings.
Nah, I like it. I like it.
All right.
It's funny y'all are talking about this because coming up, I think it's this weekend or next weekend is movie replicas of Smokey and the Bandit, the Thunder, the T-Bird, the sheriff's car, the Georgia sheriff's car, Snowman semi. They're all going to be like, and then actors that look just like these people are coming in, and you can get pictures with them and stuff from Smokey and the Bandit. And so I really thought for a half a second, because I almost shaved last night. My beard's getting a little out there, and I almost shaved last night. I'm really thinking about shaving a Burt Reynolds mustache and getting my son's cowboy hat and, opening up so my hairy chest comes out.
Oh, my.
My hairy chest comes out and getting a picture made with the car. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do it.
You think you can do a Burt Reynolds?
I won't look exactly like him because I don't have any hair, but I can do the mustache.
You can just do a Turd Ferguson.
I could do Turd Ferguson. Yeah.
Let me get a picture of Burt Reynolds.
That'd be just as good.
If you don't have a mental picture of Burt Reynolds,
I think you could
at all times. There's something wrong with you, sir.
I think you can. What? I want to see you with this clean Burt Reynolds mustache right here. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. This show is just off the rails from the start.
Off the
rails. Here we go. Look at this. With the clean edges and everything.
No way. Yeah. It's gonna be this. Yeah. No way. We're talking about this mustache, friend. Hang on. Let me pull up the picture.
I'll bring it up and I'll switch.
Do you have the pink shirt?
I can get one.
Yeah, pink button-up shirt's needed. Yep, that's the one.
Right there, baby. I'm not going to have the hair, but I can get
you can do like a hair piece. You could do like
with a hat.
For a photo.
I think I could do it. I'm gonna try to pull it off. I need to look up when that's coming up.
We need pics, or it doesn't happen.
Oh my God!
All right.
Good morning, folks. Whoever's there.
That's me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's just us then. Let's see. We got some important news, but we should start, of course, with the land of sunshine and hopes and dreams. We should talk about
California.
Yes, California. The place where as children we all grew up and we just imagine moving west into the sunshine and to be stars in movies. To all of us we can all live our dreams in California.
To be completely honest, California is one of the places in the world that I would love to visit before I die, but Northern California, where the redwoods are, I want to visit the redwoods before the giant redwoods before I die. I would love to do that.
You don't want to visit like LA traffic?
No,
LA.
Absolutely. All Southern California can.
You get right now a free ticket to California, but the only way you can get to the redwoods is you have to fly into LA and drive north, and then you have to drive back into LA, and then you can.
I would rather fly into Idaho and drive south. Is what I would rather do.
All right. This came out yesterday. California lawmakers pass a bill that could make undocumented immigrants, aka illegal immigrants, eligible for home loans. California passed the bill. I think it's AB 1840. And this program, it passed 23-11. It's amazing. The California State Senate only has 34 people in it, and 34 people can decide the fate of your state. It's amazing. AB
Well, it's a pretty small state.
Yeah, it's only got like what 20% of the population of the United States or something like that.
Wait a minute. What is the pop of?
I think it's like 50 million. Of LA is different. LA is probably like 4 or 5 million.
Okay, so LA has 3.822 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Kentucky has 4.521 million. LA is
Kentucky,
almost as many people as this entire. We have about almost 1 million more people in the whole state than they have in the city of LA.
Right.
That's why I don't like Southern California.
Here's we'll pull. I got this up on the Ground News, but here is the story from the Washington Examiner. California State Senate passes 0 down, 0 payment home loans for illegal immigrants. Oh, come on, with these people with this. Here's the Ground News. The bill stipulates that meeting all requirements for a loan should not exclude individuals based on immigration status. You would think that the first thing that you would do would be like, we have this home loan system, but if you are not here legally, then we don't trust that you will stay to pay your bill. So
what?
So
wait a minute, hang on. Let me just put this out there before I forget it. What little I know about this, Ashley is a realtor. If you are a Californian that hates this and wants to move to Kentucky, please DM me and I'll put you in contact. The cost of living here is super low. So if you go to get a loan for a home loan, what they're not saying here and what they're like, home loans, there are about 1 billion different home loans. There is bunches of different home loans, and every one of them have different stipulations. You being in the military have a lot of different options to home loans than I do that I wasn't in the military. But Dave being a minister, and he might have access to different things, or Dave's house being in a certain.
There we go.
Dave's house.
I have the access to what's called housing allowance.
Yeah, but like even here in Kentucky, like let's say mobile homes, double wides, the modular homes they're built on a foundation, but the walls and the trusses and everything are pre-built. They bring them in, boom, boom. It's not like hammered there on the spot, right? Boom, 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 and they can put them up. There's different loans for them than there are for, there's all kinds of different loans. So this really doesn't specify what type of loans, because I'm sure, I don't know, but I just as an educated guess, I would assume that there are loans in the government for illegal immigrants. I would assume that there are for immigrants. And knowing the way that our country works, if there is loans for immigrants, there are 15 different ways to get around that.
One more quick question here. What's $150,000 house look like in California?
No kidding. Because $150,000 house in Kentucky is not much anymore.
Oh, you don't think so? I mean,
it's gone up.
No.
I mean, you're going to get a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with a little bit, maybe a yard for $150,000.
Yeah. The prices in my area have gone up about 50% in the 10 years that we've lived here. So, I don't want to put my price out there for my house, but the houses that are selling around here are roughly same house, same model, at 50% more.
We were able to close on our house like right before the freaking thing went straight up. We could see it coming. We were working and we got it right before it went up. And our house has increased in value. I don't know, 20, 30%.
That's putting a huge barrier up for young people. Imagine being 22 years old, getting out of high school or getting out of college now. You're getting married. You want to establish a family. The barrier to buying a house is now so high. A basic house, a starter house is so high. And, maybe that's the reason
look at the barrier for education. The barrier for college education
everywhere, books everywhere. You can get. You don't need somebody else to tell you what to do.
But you're.
Have you looked at the barrier for cars? Buying a car.
Pull this crap down so we can talk. But you're right, JJ.
What I want to give some of the details.
Okay.
California Democrats in the state legislature passed Assembly Bill 1840, which expanded the California Dream for All program and renaming it to the House Purchase Assistance Program, and allows for illegal immigrants to get 20% of a house down payment up to $150,000. 20% of a house down payment, up to $150,000. And they're also getting a lot of other assistance. And first of all, even if it was like I don't know that I want the state, for instance, maybe this is something to think about. I don't know. Just on principle, do I want the state of Texas to provide loans for housing for anybody? I don't even know. But I mean, this is the state of California. And not only are they providing it for Californians, they're providing it for not Americans, not even people who live are from this country. So who's on the hook for these loans?
Where's the money coming from when the state of California
is a taxpayer?
Yeah, where does the state get money from? I wonder.
No. The only instance that can come to mind right offhand where I would be okay with the state providing a loan to a specific individual in the state would be a veteran.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and we have programs like that.
Yeah.
We have programs.
Yeah, and there's programs like that.
For I'm going to tell you, math frame of reference, $150,000 is 20% of $750,000.
Right. So
a $750,000 million home.
Up to a 2-bedroom house in California. Maybe not. I don't know. And this is California. So they can pass whatever the bills they want but I mean, Californians, California taxpayers, you're on the hook. You are on the hook for illegal immigrants getting loans in your state. And then what do you think is going to happen? In some cases, they will default on the loans. And then your money evaporated, gone. Okay. Does that seem like why are you people doing this? Doesn't make sense. Whatever. California burns. Let's see. Anything else on this topic? Any other thoughts on this? I mean, I just don't understand. Maybe there's a good argument for him, but I don't get it. I guess you guys don't get it either.
I got no comment.
No comment.
Hey, let's stay on the left coast.
The left
Dave,
coast.
as a person affiliated with law enforcement, I don't think we've been vague about it, but affiliated with, and Deacon, as a person who maybe is sympathetic to certain kinds of libertarian type policies regarding consumable.
Are you talking about the devil's lettuce, man?
How do you guys? What is your opinion on the idea of decriminalization of drugs?
Depends on
drugs. Yeah,
drugs is a word.
Drugs.
It's a generic word.
Sure.
Well, you're gonna have to define that.
The ones that are criminal, making them not criminal.
They're all
you
criminal.
need to go on a specific case-by-case basis. Sugar is a drug; it's not criminal.
Yeah. Right.
Penicillin is a drug that can heal and kill. It's not criminal.
Well, so those are not the ones we're talking about.
Alcohol is a drug. It used to be illegal. It's legal.
Right.
Some of it's legal, some of it's not.
Okay.
I was gonna say we're getting into the oxycodone. All those
highly regulated
and it's illegal. Yes.
Well, if it's criminal to possess or criminal to consume.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, what do you think about decriminalizing?
It should be a case by case basis,
like and a lot of them drug by drug,
drug by drug, and a lot of them probably won't even make it past the first round. In my humble opinion, if you're talking about decriminalizing marijuana specifically, I think it should have been a long time ago. The only reason it really was a whole marketing deal back in the 20s and 30s, and I can gladly get into that if you want to. But there are other specific drugs that there's no.
Okay. So would you say it's fair to say that you are not in favor of a carte blanche across the board, hands down, decriminalize drugs?
No.
People should be free to do whatever they want.
No, hell no. People are stupid.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on now. Because there's some places where they think, hey, let people do what they want. Let them be free. Live free, I say.
Those places were called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
3 years after decriminalizing hard drugs in Oregon, only 85 people sought addiction assessment, and thousands of them died from overdose. Out of 7,227 people issued citations, only 85 of them completed their substance abuse screening through a helpline, which is needed in order to get a citation dropped. And I don't know if they give a number on the number of thousands of people died. We have seen stories before with people on these zombie drugs or whatever. But I mean, they're just like, I saw a video yesterday of a woman with her ass in the air and her head on the ground, just kind of like, shuffling about. And so Oregon decriminalized the drugs.
Where's this at in Oregon?
This is Oregon, yeah.
I was going to say, that one might have been me trying to get out of bed the other day.
Voters approved ballot measure 110 in November 2020. It took place in February 1st, 2021, turning the possession of hard drugs from a criminal misdemeanor to a Class E misdemeanor, which warrants a citation of maybe $100. The punishment could be compared to receiving a traffic ticket. Measure 110 citations had granted those in possession of illegal drugs two options: pay a $100 fine through the court system or call a helpline in exchange for their citation being waived. Progressive lawmakers intend to use the cannabis tax income to fund the state's treatment system. But boy, did they get a good deal, because they don't have to treat anybody, because people don't show up to be treated. Oregon.
This is Portland.
Live free. Live free. This is terrible. Let's see how many people died here.
Too many.
Let's see. Died. Yeah. Between 2021, when the bill took effect, and 2023, the most current year for statistics, 3,086 people died from opioid overdoses. So Oregon made it legal to own hard drugs and be totally unregulated. People that are not capable of putting themselves into help are now totally free to have and use and become addicted to these drugs, and then they just die. And Oregon doesn't care. The voters of Oregon don't care. It's crazy. I mean, this is tragic. People shouldn't have to live like this. And these people are not capable of saving themselves. They're addicts. They're addicted.
And everyone who voted for it is guilty of it. That's the way I see it. I mean, every person who voted for it is guilty of this.
That is absolutely the way to look at it. You're culpable. Oh, well, we just want people to do whatever they want. You want people to kill themselves. That's what.
Let me tell you, I've always heard we always heard when we were little, out of sight, out of mind every once in a while. And it was just one of those little fleeting phrases that went in and out of my brain. And there was a movie, one of my favorite movies is a Leonardo DiCaprio movie called The Beach. If you've never seen seen The Beach by Leonardo DiCaprio, it is absolutely one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. And there is a scene in that movie. They have found this collective of people that live on this island with this perfect beach away from all of the marketing and everything else. So they live on this perfect little beach, and they've created this perfect little island that they live off of, that they share. And I'm not going to spoil any of the movie because you definitely need to watch it. But one of the islanders gets bitten by a shark, gets attacked by a shark, and they're trying to get him some stuff, and they can't go get. And he's laying in there in the communal building, just moaning and screaming the whole time. And it's upsetting everyone. Everyone's upset. They love him. They care about him, but he's been moaning for weeks and weeks, and it's upsetting everyone. So they take him and they move him to the woods to where they can't hear him anymore, because there's no way that they can save him. They're just waiting for him to die. But
that's terrible.
He's ruining everyone's time. So they move him to the woods, and then they bring him back, and everybody forgets except Leonardo. He's like freaking out and doing this crap. But that was the out of sight, out of mind. And when that hit me in that movie, I'm like, wow, does that really work that way? Dude, let me tell you, in 30 years of radio, that in life, 47 years of life, that works, man. Out of sight, out of mind. And that, I believe, is a very, very powerful tool that governments use, the media uses. There are so many things that we will bring up. Remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this, that nobody says a word about. They're talking about all this money and stuff going to all the people and needing all this money. Did we forget that we've just sent like $170 trillion to
175 billion? Yeah.
Would this have helped those people? Yeah, this is an old movie. He's young.
Yeah.
But he's
I've never seen
basically
this.
He's basically a rich kid that goes to all these resorts and stuff, and he's like, no matter where you go, wherever in the world you go, everything is the same. Same hotels, same restaurants, same crap, same people, same this, same people, and he's always searching for that true spot.
A new experience, a new place.
He hears this rumor in Thailand that there's this mythical beach that exists, and he goes and he finds it. It's a wonderful freaking movie. I highly recommend The Beach, Bob.
All right. Hey, you brought up Ukraine, so I thought perhaps I would shift for a moment over to international politics and remind you of remind you guys. Do you guys remember that Joe Biden, the humanitarian, that he gives billions of dollars to Ukraine. He's also supporting Israel and trying to provide humanitarian aid to the people in Gaza, including building a pier to put supplies onto and get them into Gaza. And
right.
Yeah. Now we have heard stories. I think we covered it a couple months ago that, you could have gotten more supplies into Gaza if you had put them onto trucks and drove them in, because, it was taken so much to get just the pier. And did it break a little bit and sink a little bit? Yeah, it did. And did we spend like $320 million building the pier for it to work for like 20 days out of this entire war? But that doesn't mean that Joe Biden didn't really, really, really help these people, even though people told him that, Joe, you can probably help more people without building a pier. So Biden pushed the Gaza pier over warnings that it would undercut other aid routes, a watchdog says. He approved the plan for aid delivery to Gaza via a floating pier, despite internal warnings and challenges, objections regarding the impact on diplomacy. The report said U.S. aid staff expressed concerns that Biden's focus on the pier undermined efforts for more efficient land crossing. So somebody said, Joe, this isn't smart. But Joe had it in his mind. No, I want a magical floating place of goods to get into Gaza. It'll be safe for everybody, and they'll be happy about it, and they will love it. And so he built that pier, even though USAID said this is not a good idea.
determination.
Yeah, and that's how you get things done. Thank you, Joe Biden. You built up here.
Another thing that we can say thank you, Joe Biden, too, since we're talking about overseas stuff, is this is just a little tiny story, just a little blip. It might not mean very much, in the overall scheme of things. And in 150 years, this might not mean anything. But Russia's basically saying, screw you, America. We're going to take out your communications. I thought I shared.
You did. Okay. You switched it. Here we go.
So Russia is signaling it could take out the West's internet and its global positioning system, and we don't have a backup plan. So basically, the deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council issued a warning back in June. He said undersea cables that enable global communications have become a legitimate target for Russia. He came after the pipeline, Nord Stream 2, from Russia to Germany was blown up. If we proceed with the proven complicity of Western countries in blowing up the Nord Streams, then we have no constraints, even moral, left to prevent us from destroying the ocean floor cable communications of our enemies. Medvedev posted on Telegram. He is a close ally of Putin, who has a long history of making incendiary claims. Some analysts say that it was a threat. Some say that it was not a threat.
Okay. I don't want the internet broken. Now, luckily, we have Starlink. So, worst comes to worst, Elon Musk, once again, can save America. But I don't want Russia breaking our stuff. You got... Yeah. How will we do this show? Listeners, viewers, please think about this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do it.
If Russia breaks these cables, how are you going to watch this show? How are you going to do it? All right. What did you have to say?
I was just reading here. The cables are seriously damaged or disabled. Swaths of internet services that we take for granted and that our economies rely on, including calls, financial transactions, and streaming, would be wiped out.
Streaming. Most important thing.
Dude, I would be okay. I'm going to survive.
Security analysts say that the internet is not the only network that Russia is probing for vulnerabilities. In recent months, Russia has been accused of interfering with GPS navigation systems, causing havoc on commercial airline routes. As a result, flights from blah, blah, blah to blah, blah, blah was halted for a month. This is coming from AOL, so take this with a grain of salt.
Okay, Medvedev, yes, AOL still exists. It's one of the top search engines. For someone.
Probably right behind Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, maybe. There's also this. Hackers infected ISPs with malware that steals customers' credentials. This was an attack by China against the internet service providers.
Thank you, Temu and TikTok.
Yeah,
whether you like
thanks,
it or not.
Temu. Malicious hackers working for the Chinese government probably have been exploiting a high severity 0-day vulnerability that allowed them to infect at least 4 US-based ISPs with malware that steals credentials used by downstream customers. This is on Ars Technica. The vulnerability resides in Versa Director, a virtualization platform that allows ISPs and managed service providers to manage complex networking infrastructures from a single dashboard. The attacks began June 12th and are still ongoing. A 0-day vulnerability is a security vulnerability that is discovered, and when it is discovered, it's already being used. So
0 day means it's been there since the beginning, and we didn't know it was there.
It means it's being used prior to our discovering that it's there. So yes. A lot of times, sometimes security vulnerabilities are discovered, like theoretical ones, and then they're disclosed to, say, software manufacturers prior to them being found out by bad guys and being used. But a 0-day is we discovered it after it's already out there and being used. So this is not good. So China and Russia are out there trying to make the internet suck for us. and take our stuff. And why? Why are they doing this? Well, why are they doing this? Why? What in the world could we have done to Russia or China to make them want to mess up our stuff?
No comment.
No. Yeah. All right. I don't want to be enemies with Russia.
People.
Yeah, for real. Stop using WeChat. Maybe we should stop buying stuff from China and start making stuff ourselves.
What?
That'll show them.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye, Apple.
Bye, Apple. I don't care. Bye. We got one. Let's see. Let's do this. We've covered this a number of times on the show because it's hilarious. Hilarious is not a good word for it, but the Supreme Court once again has blocked another Biden student bribe program. The Missouri Attorney General says this is a huge victory for the working Americans who don't have to foot the bill for the Biden-Harris Ivy League bailout. The Supreme Court has temporarily halted the Biden's latest effort to cancel billions of dollars in student loan. Under the saving on a valuable education plan, it's valuable education, guys. Gender studies, not valuable education.
It might be.
Sorry, it's not. The gender studies graduates can't tell the difference between a boy and a girl.
My head is rolling right now with what you're talking about and what we previously talked about. And I just went ahead 25 years into the future and saw the Supreme Court vetoing a bill to remove home loan, create home loan forgiveness from
home loan forgiveness.
25 years in the future is going to be pushing home loan forgiveness.
I'd be all about home loan forgiveness.
Yeah. Your loan is canceled. However, the deed to your property is transferred to the state, so you can still live there. The SAFE plan was a scaled back approach to debt forgiveness that the Supreme Court struck down last year, which was $400 billion. This one's something like less than $156 billion. It's still wrong for the government to interfere in private contracts. I'm sorry, young people, you got taken, you got scammed by the government to borrow thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. But taxpayers are not on the hook for that. You made a bad deal. I paid my bill, bro.
I did too.
Yeah, I paid my bill. And is it true that school loan is a predatory business? Oh, yes. Yes. You are offering a big sack of cash with deep penalties to the dumbest people on earth.
I think some people argue this from different standpoints as well. Like there was an individual that I know who was arguing against student loan forgiveness, which is fine, but they are about 20 years older than me. And their argument was, I paid my student loans. And I'm like, you had like $7,000 of student loans. I did that in half of a semester.
Yes, right.
It doesn't matter though. The moral, the concrete foundation of this is it's not teaching our children one aspect, and I think it's not teaching our children any kind of accountability for anything.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I don't want my child to struggle. I do not want my son to suffer in any way. But I would be a moron and a terrible father to think that if I didn't want my son to know what certain things were, he's going to have to experience those things like every other human being in the world. My son, you can tell someone that fire is hot and it will burn you and cause blisters and do this. And you can go through the whole gambit of what that fire is going to do and how you're going to feel. But you do not truly know what hot feels like until you get burned. And that is with everything in the world. That is how we as humans and animals and everything gains wisdom. is the experiences and the bad things we go through. I heard a preacher say one time, he was like, when you pray for patience, do you think God is just going to snap his fingers and give you patience? Or is he going to present situations where you can test your patience? If you ask for your family to love you more, is he just going to snap his fingers and everybody just loves each other more? Or is he going to present you situations where your love can grow? And I try to look at things like that because I pray for patience on a daily basis. I am constantly saying, please give me some patience for this person or thing, and I constantly am having to look back at, I'm put in this situation in order to test my patience because I don't have a lot of patience. So,
and that's funny to me. It's a little funny to me because I know that for the last, say, 3 years, you've been having to deal with me on a daily basis. And that's probably the least of your problem.
No. This is actually fun. I'm upset on like yesterday. You're like, we can't have a show today. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Ashley knows this is like my sit around the table at the restaurant, having a coffee, talking time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Also, as an allegory or some sort of a visual picture, my wife reminds me sometimes that when you plant a tree, right? You plant a tree, the tree grows, the wind blows hard and it pushes on that tree. And so the tree, because of the hard wind, has to grow deep roots. It is the force of the wind abusing the tree that forces the roots to grow. The roots force the tree to grow. The tree gets pushed on by the wind. These are, growth is a byproduct of like intense challenge.
So I was telling Alex one day when he was working out and stuff, and we were talking about the muscle, and I was like, son, you are ripping that muscle tissue you're ripping it. Basically, you're tearing that muscle tissue. And when you get done, the body heals that muscle tissue and heals over it. And you keep doing that repeatedly and it gets bigger and bigger. And that's why your muscle grows. Like you have to tear it to build it back.
Yeah.
Little buddy's upset about something.
Yeah. I'm completely like,
I don't know. This kind of went a weird way, but that was
it sure did. Yeah. All right. Here's one more. One. You know what? We'll do. I don't really care about this, and I don't want to explain it. So never mind. We're not going to do that. Where's the? Let's do this. There's a telescope, out there called the Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Telescope. Do you know about this?
I've heard that. Yes.
There's a movie, wasn't it?
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Can you please blow a gag for me? Do you mind? Can you please blow a gag?
You gotta like set up differently then.
This guy, I don't appreciate that. All right. Well, I was gonna drop a word.
We blow your gags because great minds think alike.
If only I knew what you were gonna do.
Yeah. Well, why would I tell you? That takes all the fun out of it. The best part is that I do a gag and
I thought I just took the fun out of it.
Mm-hmm. The Event Horizon Telescope collaboration achieved the highest resolution black hole observations ever from Earth, paving the way for future imaging. At 345 gigahertz, the images will be sharper and may reveal previously unknown properties of black holes. The enhanced resolution can facilitate imaging smaller, fainter, or more distant black holes than those captured in 2019 or 2022. We have a black hole camera, guys. We have a black hole camera.
We have a camera that captures the speed of light.
I was trying to be funny and make my screen go black, but it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, this is in. Why do we have to learn this from ABC Spanish? Why is this in? Okay, I can't do anything about this. Nueva era en la astronómica.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Realizan las observaciones con mejor
A new era of astronomy. We realize observations with
Let's try this.
Major.
There we go.
Come on, dude. I was like rocking it.
Oh, it's ABC. Come on. Jeez. All right.
How bad was my Spanish there?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so we have a black hole camera.
Black hole camera, won't you come? Won't you come home?
Here you go. Hang on. I'm going to bring this up since we got a little bit of time. I'm going to bring this up again. We played this once.
Wash away the pain.
You're going to get us copyright stricken singing Black Hole Camera. Hang on. Let me.
Who's this guy?
So this guy is talking about the camera that we have built. You know that we did this.
Photons travel about 1 million times faster than bullets. So our camera can see these photons.
Triggered at a trillionth of a second delay.
But here's the
so
light.
Even though each of our sensors is slow, we can still capture a fast movie. I'm standing next to our laboratory setup here.
Oh, I don't want to hear
this is our camera.
I don't want to hear all this crap. I want to show you the actual. Here you go. This is the light packet. So light photons travel in packets. They move so fast that we don't see them all. It's all everything. This camera actually is capturing the packet. There is a like water in a Coke bottle. And you're actually seeing the light travel through the water. It's going to hit the cap now.
Huh.
Interesting.
It's crazy. There is one with the apple.
How?
So you see the light going to the apple, hitting it, and then there's the other one with the apple. Where was it at? It appears on as the shadow. As soon as the light hits the apple, the shadow does not appear on the wall because it's capturing the light. Still has to travel. It's a pretty amazing thing to watch this on this speed of light camera. It's
right.
Is that Deadpool?
No, Event Horizon.
Yeah, don't get us copyright strike. I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
No, I haven't either.
I saw this in
I
theaters.
completely forgot what happened. Yeah.
I wish I had an award I could give to Dave for ruining my gag.
Morpheus.
I was totally going to do the science of the telescope and then have a video of it. And then because they actually in that movie, they actually passed through like a black hole or a wormhole or something. But when you passed through it, you went through the hell dimension. And when you come back,
yeah, there's a theory now about the white holes. If the black hole sucks it all in, does it spit it back out? Mm-hmm. And it's very interesting. I mean, Hawking's theory about time travel with a black hole was very interesting. And I mean, it's not time travel like you think of time travel, but if we had if we had a ship that could withstand the pressure. And could get there
from here to here and fold them together, and then you just pass through there. And
that's Star Trek. No, but that's
no, that's Einstein.
If you were traveling in a spaceship around the horizon of the black hole, and it took you a year to travel around one circle, like 10 or 20 years would have passed on Earth. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. Time, we could get into time. I like time. There's no such thing as time.
If we could achieve time travel,
there's no such thing as time. It's an invention of man.
I know that. I say that
white
all
hole
the
time.
But if we could invent time travel, we could send all these people that have school loans back in time, and they could convince themselves not to take out those school loans, and then we wouldn't have to pay for their schools.
We could jump to the future and get our houses paid off when that bill's passed in 25 years.
If you jump to the future, your houses will no longer be owned by you. They will be owned by the illegal immigrants that got loans from California. So, I mean, listen, you're here right now in time, and then you jump to the future. Well, you're not there in that time, so your house is going to be like declared vacant, and then it's going to get sold out from under you. So jump into the future is a way to be immediately homeless. People just left. There were people watching, and they're like,
I've still got people watching.
Yeah.
I see people watching.
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
Came back
done.
from the future.
Music.
If it's anything other than Black Hole Sun.
Black Hole Sun.
That's a strike.
That is leftover salmon patties.
Salmon.
We like to say salmon here in Kentucky.
Nope, we say salmon.
Sun, yeah, we do. Black Hole Sun by Leftover Salmon.
All right.
That is
that our song
beautiful.
of the day?
Yeah.
It better be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's joke time, and I have an appropriate joke. What?
An inappropriate joke.
I said appropriate. You're not listening.
Oh, okay.
Kind of planets. What kind of music do planets listen to? What kind of music do planets listen
to? Space rock?
I mean, I guess that. No, Neptunes. Neptunes.
Yeah. It could have been Rocket. That might have been better, but
maybe.
I'm sorry. I wasn't ready. So I went to the library here recently, and I've been looking on some books on paranoia, and I couldn't find them. So I went up and I asked the librarian, where are the books on paranoia? And she goes, they're right behind you. Always like that
one. With Christmas coming up, I'm just waiting for with Christmas coming up, I decided I probably need to get a second job to make sure I can give stuff to everybody I know. So I was applying at one of our local upholstery shops, and they were going through all the stuff. And they said, you got to be careful though. There are sometimes accidents. I said, yeah, like what? She said, well, this dude fell in one of our upholstery machines about a month ago. Like, really? Is he okay? They said, yeah, he's fully recovered.
I gotta tell my buddy that one. That one's good.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We're sorry for the goof ups. Tomorrow's episode will be.
No, we're not.
Actually, there is no episode tomorrow because tomorrow we're doing the game. Right? Are we doing the game tomorrow?
Ooh, is that tomorrow?
Oh yeah,
super excited.
Okay.
All right.
Brian said he could, but then he's a little non-committal. So whether Brian, if you're here, you better be here.
We're coming after you.
So tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to do it next week? I thought you were ready.
Good.
No, let's do it.
All right.
Let us play.
Won't you now? And
roll the end
of the show.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with